SAFC Fan TV have teamed up with our new sponsors, OneFootball. This great app will tell you everything you need to know on Sunderland and all other teams. Up to the minute latest scores, breaking news, team lineups and transfer news as we head into a busy summer of sport. If you haven't already got the app, you can download it for free via the link in the description below. It's the only football app you'll ever need to keep you bang up to date with all the latest news. We couldn't do what we're doing without the support of OneFootball, so a massive thank you to them for supporting the channel.
Hey.
Don't ask me what happened. Don't ask me. I haven't got a clue.
What happened?
My computer crashed for some reason, and then I thought I'll be dead smart, and I'll get down with the kids, and I'll go on my phone. I'll get on my phone, and I thought I need to come off my phone to get the computer sorted. And when I came off my phone, I ended the stream for everyone. So yes, it's down to me. And apparently, the comment was made that it was Philly and the 3 Vs, but now we are officially the 4 Vs. So there you go.
You sound like a band.
Listen, apologies for that, people watching. We are back now. I don't know. I blame Jack's haircut. Simple as that. Right.
Can't expect anything else. I mean, have a quick look on the comments. Jeff Hallcroft's already on about CONRAD. There you go. It was all part 2 of Thursday Night Live, and it's already the topic of the conversation in the comments. So at least I've given it something to talk about.
Right. Okay.
So we just have a 5-minute segment talking about Jack's haircut and just get it out of the way, like.
Can we have a 5-minute segment talking about Dino's haircut, please? That is something I need.
Yeah. Dino's is. Dino's.
I just saw how Dino's shaved as well.
No, Dino's comedy value if he takes his hat off. Right. Before we go on, I'll do one comment.
The only one with no hair on his head.
Right. Okay. Listen, I'll just quickly. I'll read one comment, and then we'll move on. And that's from my wife. And she says, "What a bell," whatever that means. Okay, right. We finished in 4th place then, right? We secured our place in the playoffs. We're away to Lincoln on Wednesday, which is a 6 o'clock kickoff. We will be doing a live stream, and we're allowed together. So and we can hug. So yes. we will be together for that, hugging each other. And we'll all be in sync because we'll all be watching the same stream, so that'd be good. And then, of course, the home leg is going to be Saturday the 22nd. It's now a 3:30 kickoff. It's been moved from 3 o'clock to 3:30. I don't know if anybody knows why that is. Michael, you're the man who knows everything. Why has it been moved?
I'm going to be useless here. I actually couldn't tell you why.
All right, hang on. Well, in that case, then, there you go. Obviously, he's no good to us if he's not got the stats. Right then. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say then. Have you tried to get a ticket for the second leg?
I've got one. Yes.
Right. So, am I right to assume, Jack, that you purchased a season ticket last season?
For this season, you mean? Yeah.
2021. Yeah.
Yes, sorry, 2021.
Yeah,
you did. All right. It's because what I was going to say was, I mean, the way I saw the press release on a first come first serve was if you was a season ticket holder, you was going to get one. So of course on when was it yesterday? Wednesday, I went on the website, waited in the queue for as long as I had to, got on, and then realised I wasn't eligible because I didn't renew my season ticket last season because, of course, of COVID, and I was skint. And so I wasn't eligible. So this is what I want to ask. Is it a fair way of doing it? The people who bought season tickets last year should get first refusal on them. Dino?
That's a funny one in this. I mean, because I'd done the same. I cancelled mine because of the whole COVID. I'd literally just lost my job, so I couldn't really afford to pay for a £300 season ticket when I wasn't going to be going to any games. So yeah, it might be. It's lucky for some. Some people can still do that, but it wasn't the case for me. And then I get punished because I couldn't afford it, where other people can, so them can go to the game. It's a funny one. I would say it's quite unfair. But if the club wants to go down that way, who are we to say anything? At the end of the day, the club, like you say, the club only care about the money. They don't care about actually fans. They just care about the people who bought the tickets. So it's a bit unfair, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm sort of a bit with you. I mean, I couldn't have. I would have definitely renewed, but you know, it was a luxury, and we couldn't do it. Michael, do you think it was a fair way of doing it?
Put it this way, I could afford to get a season ticket for this season, but I didn't get one because I knew I wasn't going to go to any games. So I didn't see the point in spending that money to not go to any games. So for me to not get in, I think it's fair enough. I could have afforded to. You're having a great time with your green screen tonight. I could have gone and got a season ticket this season, and I didn't. So for me, it's fair that I don't get in. I can understand the argument from Dean and Phil's perspective that if you could afford it, I don't know if you're trying to talk, Phil, but you're muted. Oh,
no,
okay,
I'm
right,
not. I'm just.
Are you just trying to be a mime or something?
No, I'm trying to be. I'm a borrower. Can you hear me down here? Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Before you continue.
Yeah, go on.
Before you continue, Michael, I've just got to say a massive big thank you to
No, you don't.
to Jeff Holcroft, who has donated £5 on the super chat. Round of applause to him. Thank you, Jeff. And he says the £5 is to buy a hat for Jack. All right. So, well, Jack, what do you reckon? Do you think it's a? I mean, you got
Excuse
yourself.
me, how do you know I wasn't finished? Like, I'm going to do a Dino and complain here.
He's done that twice tonight.
I'm not bothered. Go on.
I need to see below his screen as well.
What?
I need to see below his screen as well.
Yeah, well, the problem is, see, right, this here, right? See, that is the table. That's the table from the Hastings Hill. Remember that? And that table is going to go. Just, Jack, you tell us if it's a fair way or not.
Well, Michael, do you still want to? Michael, finish your point, mate. Go on.
No, go on. I was saying that to just try and be funny. Go on. You
all right. Well, I think you've got to have some way of like deciding who gets the tickets first. If you just give it as a free for all, you then get potentially people buying tickets who haven't even been to games for years. For example, like when we did it with Wembley, there was a process of like all the season ticket holders and everyone else. When it's away games, it goes off loyalty points. So I think you've got to have some filtration process. I think how the club decided to do it, they were going to get damned if you do, damned if you don't. Criticism either way, because I can really understand why people are frustrated, like you, like the two of yourselves, really. Who, I mean, Dino, you in particular, who you say you couldn't really afford to pay for 400 quid season ticket. You know, when there was quite a slim chance you were going to get a lot of the games anyway. I mean, I got my ticket because I got my season ticket because, I mean, first and foremost, I was only 17. It wasn't a lot of money. It was 60 quid or something like that, 60, 80 quid, which, is very different to paying for an adult's one. That's interesting, Phil. So, yeah, mine would have been about 70, 80 quid anyway. So it's far cheaper than an adult's one at the very least. And I thought if there's any chance that we can at any point get ourselves into the ground, I'll get the stream passes for free anyway. I want to get a season ticket because it was planned, I think, that we were going to get in October, I believe. And obviously, it's not, things haven't worked out that way and what have you. But that's why I decided to get mine in the end. But so that's why
I'm sure Terry was acting out on a stream like this when he was just jumping and moving around the room all over. I think Philston knew Terry.
No, I'm trying to show you is when we do the live stream, right, on Wednesday, we're going to be sat here, and here. All right. Watching that there, and when we score all together, we'll go, yeah. So that is.
You just go, yeah. Sit back down in 2 seconds.
Something like that. I don't know. Anyway.
No, I mean, like, That's why I got my season ticket, was because I thought it's a lot less money than an adult one, and if there's any chance that we can get in the ground at some point, I wanna get in. But I understand why other people haven't got it, and I can understand why people are frustrated. Look, I think they had to do something. They had to, decide at some way. Maybe likely points would have been a fairer system to work by. But I'm not going to blame the club. I mean, look, I've managed to get a ticket myself, which of course I'm happy about. I'm still going to consider other people haven't, of course. But I think I say it's one of them where you've got to have some way to decide it. And if that's the way they've done it, that's the way they've done it. It's I think you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Doesn't matter what you do, someone's going to be upset because ultimately people are going to be left out. It's probably one of the fairer ways they could have done it, but in the same breath, there are people who've been left out. And as well, let's face it, there's a lot of people who didn't get a season ticket but have bought every single stream anyway. Dino, I know you're wanting in anyway.
Yeah, I've got. Well, why didn't they? Just for the sake of it, just for one time, just don't have fans in. Just go the rest of the season. It's one game, and you're going to have all this uproar.
Surely, if you can have 10,000 fans and 0 fans, and you'd rather have that.
It's just one of them,
just for the sake of upsetting a few people who aren't getting it. Like
the way look at the Wembley. The way that the Wembley thing.
Go on,
the Wembley thing. They were talking about getting fans in, and all we said, no, don't, because it'll be unfair on everyone. Why is this all of a sudden different? We all agreed Wembley they shouldn't have fans in, so why is this any different?
I think there was there not other reasons for that. I mean, I can't remember specifically at the time. I think I said that because it wasn't worth it for however many fans were going to get in. I think they said that if they could push it back, Wembley could have about 10,000 fans in, and I just thought it wasn't really worth it moving the game for the fixtures. It was too much of a claw on just for getting a few fans in. Whereas with this, you literally have 10,000 fans in, or you don't. It's not going to change anything else. If it's all okay with the government and all the rules are fine, etc., then why would you deny not only 10,000 fans getting in? We've all missed being in the ground, and as well a bit extra money as well. Like we've been clubs have suffered so much this season, as every business and every person has with money. You're getting an extra 10,000 tickets through the gates. That's however much money the club's lost over the season. It's going to help, and we need it.
Well, we're there, right? In America, they've just had the fight, Canelo, Billy Joe. 70,000 people in. No one cared. Why can't we just fill the stadium? That's the case. If they're doing it in other countries, why can't we do it? I don't get it. There's 70,000 people in an indoor. Well, it was an outdoor arena. We can only have 10,000.
I don't think that's down to the club though. I think that's down to the government protocols where you're allowed. I think is it 25% of the stadium's capacity or 10,000, whichever was lower. I think if Sunderland wanted, but no, it was 2. I'm sure. Oh, something like I don't know. I'm sure it was 25% of the stadium capacity or 10,000. So in Sunderland's case, 10,000 is lower than 25% of the capacity, because 25% of the capacity is just over 12,000. It's like a 49 seater stadium, 49 seater stadium anyway. So I think if Sunderland wanted more fans, then we probably could have found a way to do that. But I think that's, to be fair to the club, that's government protocol. I think, not specifically Sunderland.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a different debate for a different day. You're then looking at the legal requirements, and I think you're looking at the government's decisions there. The club's decision to which 10,000 fans they are in is an entirely different debate as to the government's decision of how many fans should we let in and in what way. In America, if they want to let in however many fans, that's their government deciding that's allowed, and ours hasn't. Now, if you want to debate that, that's fine. I'm sure there's plenty of different arguments that can be made, but I think that's just different to the club deciding which 10,000 fans get in.
Right, okay. I was just going on the chat there, and I was about to read one out, and then I realised I read it first, and so I won't read it out.
Was it Tony Lee's?
It might have been.
What's Tony Lee said? I need to have a look.
What's that?
What she said?
Oh, nothing. It's nothing important. It's all right.
Yeah, I didn't hold that one, if we'll put it that way.
Right. Well, just very quickly as well, I see it was announced today that the Champions League final is going to be played in Porto and Portugal. So, which means our final will be at Wembley.
If we get there.
Which is I am going to get onto that. In this first leg, then, when we play away at Lincoln. I'll ask individually. What do you think we should do? Do we go all out to win, or just make sure that we don't get beat in the first leg? Jack, do you want to start us off with that?
I think more inclined to go for the second one because for the latter of the two, because in the second leg we've got the 10,000 fans in the Stadium of Light, and as much as there's been a lot of comments made about Sunderland fans hindering the ability of the players, which probably can happen at times, but as every fan base can affect the players' performances in different ways. I think, considering the players haven't played in front of a proper crowd all season, I don't know if Lincoln were one of the clubs who might have had 2,000 to 4,000 fans in about January, December time, around then. I'm not sure if that was the case, but these players haven't played in front of fans since like March, and just 10,000 spread out throughout the Stadium of Light could have a huge impact. So I think we're going to have a massive advantage going into that. We'll have a massive advantage going into the second game. Go for the kill, go for the win. You never really want to expose yourselves, of course, and leave yourselves wide open. But I think in the same breath, you've got a better chance of getting something from the second game, or rather getting an advantage in the second game. So maybe if you're asking us, how do we approach the first game? I would say a more conservative approach to the first game than the second game.
Right, fair enough. Lincoln are going to have fans in there as well. I think they've got about 3,500. They're gonna have. Michael, would you go all out for the win, or would you be cautious and just make sure we don't lose?
See, for me, going into that first leg, I'd want to take an advantage back the Stadium of Light because Lincoln are better away. Have been better away from home this season than at home. Obviously, I know that's the regular league and the playoffs are more of a lottery, but I would think it would be a massive prospect if we could get. I mean, I do. It's definitely important to draw the game rather than lose it. Obviously, you don't want to have to overturn a deficit in the second leg. And I think if we say in the scenario that we did draw the game and we came back to Stadium of Light, some of these players haven't played in front of a crowd before here at the Stadium of Light. I mean, say the likes of Aidan O'Brien, the likes I'm trying to think who else. Well, I was going to say Dion Sanderson, but of course he can't play, can he? Winchester, that's another one. Jordan Jones. There's a host of other ones. There's other players that haven't played in front of a crowd this season. So, in that sense, that should be an advantage. There's no, it might, obviously it depends what happens in the game. We could, for example, say get a red card in the first 10 minutes. You just never know. It just depends what happens over the course of the game. For the first leg, I'm not gonna lie, I would be disappointed if we didn't win it. I'd be disappointed if we didn't get an advantage coming back home, because I think if we got, but in saying that though, we've got to make sure we do it, at least not lose the game. I wouldn't say I'd settle for a draw, but I would say at least make sure that we're not behind going into the second leg, because Lincoln will, in terms of fans, Lincoln will have the advantage for the first leg, whereas we'll have the advantage for the second leg. But of course, the difference is they'll have about 3,500. We'll have 10,000. That's nearly 3 times as much as what Lincoln will be able to have. And that's not Lincoln's fault. That's just down to stadium size. But yeah, I would make sure you at least don't lose, but I'd be disappointed not to win it.
Right, Michael, did you work that out without a calculator as well? 3 times more? Good man. That's what I like. Just very quickly, Alan Gardner says, go for the win and get away goals might be important. Quickly tell you, there's no away
goals don't count, do they?
They don't count. It'll be a case of aggregate score. If they're still at the same when they play the Stadium of Light, 30 minutes extra time, and then it will go to the dreaded penalty shootout. Dino,
yes.
What would you do? Would you go all out for the win in the first leg, or just make sure that we don't get beat?
I mean, if you're asking us a question like that, I mean, you want to win.
Dino, I've just asked you that question.
Right. So you're saying, right, after all this season, we all know that our away form is better than our home form. So you're basically saying play crap in the away game, be cautious, and then come home and win. We win more games away than we do at home. So I wouldn't have any confidence if we drew that game at Lincoln to come back and win the second leg. I just couldn't see it happening. You're playing the if but maybe game. For me, you've got to win the first leg and win the second leg, none of this, or be cautious, because at the end of the day, you could always concede a penalty, you can always concede a lucky goal. and you just need to put the game to bed. It's as simple as that. Not be all cautious, because when we play cautious, we tend to concede when we play cautious all the time.
Right,
not
okay.
to be cautious out of the two.
Hang on a sec, Jack Dodds. Hang on, whoa.
More than the other.
Oh, well, just carry on talking then.
You're going to have one where you go for it more than the other. It's got to be the second one when you get the fans in. Sorry,
fair,
Phil. Go on.
To be fair, Jack, I mean, there was Michael doing it probably so we don't all talk over each other.
Sorry,
and I was going to bring him in, and then you decide with your crap haircut to come in and steamroll everything. Jack, I wish I had it, mate. I wish I had it. Michael, what are you trying to say?
I was going to say, with regard to I can't get over that. With regard to our home form. We have been better away from home than at home this season, but I will. Well, here I'm going to be. I will give you a stat on something. The first 2 seasons that we were in League One, so I'm not counting the FA Cup, the League Cup, the EFL Trophy. None of that's included in what I'm about to say. Strictly the league games. Sunderland have only lost twice over 2 seasons with fans in the ground at the Stadium of Light. This season, without fans, we've lost 6. We've lost 6. If my maths is right, and if my memory is right, we've lost 6 home games. I think it was MK Dons, Portsmouth, Plymouth, Wigan, Charlton, and Blackpool. I think that it was 6. The difference is for the second leg. Now, for me, I actually think having the second leg at home this time, if no fans were in the ground, I don't think it would have made much of a difference. Because there's fans in the ground, and because we're going to be able to have more fans in the ground than Lincoln were for their first leg, I actually think having the second leg at home could be a massive advantage. And again, remember, some of these players have not. This will be the first time. Again, Winchester, Jones, Likes of I know Dino's going to disagree with this, yeah. But those players have not played. And they've not played in front of a crowd this season. And I actually think we let the players know when they're not performing at the best standard. Yes, but at the same time, if you can't bring yourself to be more extra motivated when you've got fans behind you, you shouldn't be playing for Sunderland.
Right, fair enough. Dino, you're one in there, mate.
Yeah, he's saying this about when the fans were in, we didn't lose. But when we had fans in, McGeady couldn't score a goal to save his life. Without fans, White couldn't score a goal to save his life. Without fans, he scored almost 30 goals. So you get the fans. If he starts missing chances, they're back on his case, and he turns back into the old Charlie White. So you can say about that. Some players.
It's going to be an argument here. Go on, Jack.
To be devil's advocate, though, on the other hand, while you could argue Charlie White's season's improved because of the lack of fans in, is our home form improved? I mean, look at our home form this season in comparison to the past 2 years.
Yes, Dino, over to you in the studio.
But right, you're comparing seasons, right? This season's been one of the weirdest seasons going. I mean, come on, man. I mean,
yeah,
this season's been
and then there's you trying to make a point about Charlie White saying he's done well this season without fans in, and then saying, but it's been a weird season equally.
Yeah, but when you talk about like certain this is an individual. We're talking about an individual. When you've got a team, you don't forget Charlie White didn't score any of the goals when we had the fans in. It was everyone else scoring.
Yeah,
I don't even know what point I'm trying to make. To be fair, I really don't even know.
No, neither do I.
I don't. In fact, to be honest, Dino, I don't think you work in this channel. All right, let's bring him back in.
Welcome to the rejected club, Dino. It was nice.
Right. I was going to chat. I'm all over the
Phil,
place.
what's your thoughts then?
My thoughts on what? I can't even remember what the question was. For me, yeah, we go all out for the win. 100% go for it. Because, I'll tell you what, the question I want to ask you next then is, are you confident then over these 2 games that we can beat Lincoln and we can get through the playoff final? Dino, do you want to start us off with that? No? Simple? Jack?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes, as I can be without being overconfident. Put it this way, I'll be very disappointed if we didn't get in the final.
I think.
Right, well, for me,
I was going to say, I think go on, Phil. Apologies.
For me, the most positive Sunderland supporter in the world ever. I don't think we will, and I think the hardest game is Lincoln. I think if we beat Lincoln, I think we win and we go up. And I know you can say, well, look at Blackpool, they're in form. That, you know, when we played Blackpool twice, right, you know, they got a lucky goal because of the Burge mistake. When they won up here, their goalie had a great game, and we had a boatload of chances, and just, I don't know. And Oxford, no disrespect to Oxford, but I think beating Lincoln, and that's it, we're up for me. Jack was one them first, and we'll come to you, Dino.
Yeah, I think out of the other three teams you could have played, I'm quite happy. Other two teams, sorry, out of those three, I'm quite happy we've got Lincoln. I know you're saying it's probably the.
I agree with Jack. Yeah,
least like to play, but I've made this point a few times, but we've had a good record against them so far this season. We drew 1-1 the most recently. That's a better result than we've had against Blackpool all season. We then beat them on penalties just prior to that in the semi-final as well. Another semi-final. Could go down to penalties as well. There you go. And additionally, we beat them 4-0 earlier in the season in a point where we were actually playing awful as well. Anyway, I think Lee Johnson had just came in and we're in an awful run of form. Could be slightly wrong, I'm not too sure. And there you go. We'll beat them 4-0. So I think we've got a good record against Lincoln so far this season. So I'm actually quite pleased we've got them really, but more importantly, we've got the 10,000 fans in at the end of the game. I think Oxford, we've beaten them twice this season, but their form has just picked up right towards the end of the season, hasn't it? So to be honest with you, I'm quite happy we've got Lincoln. Right,
fair enough. Dino, you was one in.
Yeah, I just want to say congratulations to the worst keeper in the League One, Lee Burge, for getting team of the season. I mean, I know for someone who's so bad, getting team of the season, I mean, he is really bad and he's worst keeper, but yeah, he gets in the team season. I don't get that, mate. Like,
there must be an awful collection of keepers in this thing. I'm not even trying to dig out Lee Burge. I actually think he gets a harder time from a lot of Sunderland fans than is actually justified. But there must be an awful collection of keepers in this league if he's the best one, like.
What do you mean? I'll tell you from the start, he's the best keeper in the league, and it's just been proved. It's been proved. He was in the team of the season. Team of the season doesn't lie.
Has he kept the most clean sheets?
One goalkeeper. He's a half decent League One goalkeeper.
I'm trying to. I don't know if he has. I'm just asking.
I think before I'll let you in just there, Michael, because I know you want in. I think, you know, I sort of agree with Dino. I mean, he's got loads of unnecessary stick, and I think he's done a decent job for us this season. Michael, you was one in there.
Yeah, two points. Well, first of all, on the Lee Burge thing, I agree with you too. I think that a lot of people make Burge out to be a lot worse than he actually is. But I've seen, I mean, don't get me wrong, mate. I know Burge isn't as good as McLaughlin. I want to put that out there. I think a lot of people, and I don't think this is fair, by the way. I don't think this is fair what I'm about to say. But a lot of people have judged a lot of people have judged him on the standard of John McLaughlin and said, "Oh, well, he's rubbish because he's not John McLaughlin." And to me, that's not right. To me, as the keeper, he's made a couple of mistakes, but let's look at John McLaughlin away at Lincoln, funnily enough. Last season, he made a crucial mistake that cost us a goal in that game. John McLaughlin's will have made mistakes over the course of the season for Sunderland that he was here. And everyone goes, Lee Burge does it consistently. Well, the only ones I can think of, and maybe my memory's hazy here, Bristol Rovers conceded the penalty. Hull, they couldn't see out of one eye in that game. Goodness me. And Blackpool away. Apart from that, I cannot remember. I think some people blamed him, for the second goal in the Accrington game, but for me, that's more Luke O'Nien personally than Lee Burge. I know that might be an unpopular opinion, but you could argue it's a mixture of both, so that's not strictly Lee Burge. For me, I think Lee Burge is better than people. So some Sunderland fans said he's awful. I'm like, your opinion, fair enough, but I'm sorry, I can't bring myself to agree with that. If we're gonna compare him, like, look at the two Lees, Lee Burge and Lee Camp. I know with damn sight which one I'd rather have in goal, without question. And it's not just because Lee Camp's terrible either. So the second point I was going to make, to emphasise on what Jack was saying earlier about the other teams in form. Oxford, I know we beat them twice, but actually for me, Oxford were the team I didn't want to sneak into sixth, because I actually felt that with Carl Robinson and the way that they play, I actually felt that they would be a real threat. And I'm more relieved that we're not playing them in a semi-final over two legs. I think that would have been a very tough tie. Blackpool, likewise, even though I didn't think Blackpool were all that when we played. I'm only watching the game at Bloomfield Road, but that game was literally settled by a mistake. It wasn't settled because Blackpool were better than us. So I'm happy that those two are playing each other. And I know that obviously Blackpool and Oxford have got the best form of the two of them going into the playoffs. So I'm happy they're playing each other.
Right, have a
But
drink,
we've got to
Michael,
get past
thank you.
Lincoln, obviously.
No,
just
have a
because
drink,
of just
Michael.
because. Yeah.
Michael, have a
I know.
drink.
Well, anyway, hang on.
Right,
Right,
Jack,
anyway, as I was saying.
hang on, just let me mute him because he's going on me. Say again. Right. Jack, just very quickly, you was wanting to jump in there.
Yeah, I think at this level in League One, Lee Burge is a decent goalkeeper. He's no John McLaughlin. If anyone thinks it can compare to John McLaughlin, you need help. Like, because John McLaughlin is a much far better goalkeeper than Lee Burge would be. I think at this level, Lee Burge is decent for League One, but by no means could he ever make it in the Championship. But my point is that if he is the best goalkeeper in this league, there must be some awful, awful keepers. Like, I don't know how they've kept that decision. If they just went, has he got the most clean sheets? Is it him or Alex Palmer? I think. Michael, you'll know.
Blackpool's keeper, I think, Scott. I think Blackpool's keeper. I can't remember what he's called. I think his keeper's. I mean, that to be fair, he got a few clean sheets after the Team of the Season thing was awarded. But at the end of the season, I'm sure that Blackpool's keeper's got the most clean sheets. But I might be wrong.
I mean, if they just decided it on that, because he's just dropped some right clangers this season. I think it proves how poor this division is.
All right, Jack.
Anyway,
right,
Phil, back to you.
Jack,
Mute me. I'll take a drink.
Right.
Back to you in Wearside Studio.
Very quickly, because we got sidetracked on that. With right, I want a quick one-word answer on this because I want to go to a final thing before we go. So let's say we get through the final. Who do you want, Blackpool or Oxford? Michael?
Bizarrely enough, Blackpool.
Blackpool. Dino?
Doesn't matter because we'll get beat anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, no. Dino's back. The Dominator.
Hang on, Phil. He says you don't think we'll get past the semis. You can't dig out Dino for
we'll
that.
lose, though. I think it'll be all tied. We won't lose a game, and then we might lose it on penalty. No, it's anyway. Michael, Blackpool or Oxford?
You've already asked us this. I said Blackpool.
Did you? All right. So, sorry, I'd asked Dino, and Dino was giving it the doesn't matter because we're not going to win anyway and all that. So, who would you like us to get beat off in the final then, Dino?
Oxford, because this Lewis D in the chat's just been winding everyone up, so I wouldn't want to see Blackpool go up just for the way he's going on. So, Oxford.
All right. Lewis D, we assume is a Blackpool fan then, is he?
I'm guessing so.
All right. Okay.
Why? What's he been saying?
Well done to Blackpool and getting as far as they have. And I've got a lot of affection for Blackpool. I've got a lot of Blackpool friends and stuff like that. Jack, Blackpool or Oxford?
No idea. It doesn't make much difference to me. We need to beat Lincoln first, then whoever we'll get, we need to beat.
Jack, the question was, I said, so we've beaten Lincoln, we've made the final. So forget that. Who would you prefer in the final, Oxford or Blackpool?
Much of a much. I'll go on.
Yeah, all right, here we go. Let's get rid of him because obviously it's taking far too long. All right, and are you ready? Watch this. When he comes back.
I'll see Oxford because we've beaten twice this season. That's it. But
you've been said because what normally happens when we're off air, if we do that to him and he comes back on, he's normally
That's his baboon ass house.
Right, listen.
Phil, who would you rather want, Blackpool or Oxford?
Me, I'd rather take Blackpool myself. I think we've been. I think they're there for the taking myself, but we've got to get there first. Right. What I want to finish on is we've a lot of. Well, I don't mind, but everybody on here is not very kind to Wycombe Wanderers because Wycombe Wanderers when they got promoted.
Oh, actually talking about it.
We went up with the points per game system, right? And these lot were going mad about it. I mean, I basically said at the end of the day, they went up because they were overall.
I agree.
They were better. That's why they went up because the points per game was better. The fact that they'd gone on a bad run and started dropping down. The fact is that they'd started the season so well they went up, but these weren't having it anyway. So on Sunday when the games were finished and what have you, and everybody saw that Wycombe have been relegated, and a few on here were like giving it the and all that. Anyway, it comes out in the news today.
Dino.
Yeah, in our group chat, Dino, CONRAD, and all them. And it comes out today that there could be Derby could be deducted points, possibly because of breaching the financial fair play rules. If that happens and they're deducted points, then the team that finished third bottom will stay in that league. The team that finished third bottom were Wycombe Wanderers. So, Dino, if Derby get deducted points and Wycombe stay up, what are you going to do? Are you going to say it's not fair?
If he doesn't go on a rant here, I'll be disappointed.
I mean, the season's over. If they're going to deduct points, they will do it next season, because didn't that happen to Sheffield Wednesday this season when it was supposed to happen last season? Because it wasn't
like that,
kind of same. It was the same. Them got deducted 6 points. Sheffield Wednesday.
But hang on, didn't Wigan got deducted theirs?
That's also fair.
At the end of the season.
Oh yeah, they did, yeah. So it's a funny one. It depends on what the league's going to do. Are they going to do it straight away, or are they going to say, right, well, you've got to start with 6-point deduction next season and a transfer ban? I really don't know. But if this happens, Wycombe have got the biggest luck going for them, because they got up undeservedly.
Well, no, if they stay up, if let's say Derby get relegated because of it and they stay up, right? That's not Wycombe's fault. You can't blame Wycombe for that. I mean, fair play to Wycombe last day of the season. They went to Middlesbrough and what was it, 3-0 they won or something like that? Yeah. And so they went for it. And, and they're down. And to be honest, they were bottom and they finished third bottom.
But they shouldn't have went up in the first place, so Philly. They shouldn't have went up in the first place.
Why not?
They shouldn't have.
They should. Because overall, their points per game were better than
the points per game system was terrible. Because why could the Premier League finish their league off, but we couldn't? It was a big farce. It was ridiculous. The Premier League teams can, but we can't, because we don't have the money to keep playing. It was all a load of bollocks, man. And the fact when they won the playoff final, the way the players were going on, like they deserved it and they should have been there. They shouldn't have been there in the first place, man. They should have been lucky they were there, man. It was unbelievable. But it wasn't the fans I was having to do that. It was the players like Akin Fenwa going on Sky, giving it the big one. Oh, we done this. You shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Listen, they weren't there through luck. They were there.
They were. Of course they were.
Jack, this is what you missed.
Because what they'd done, they played those games and they started the season really well. Right, they started.
Well, I didn't know the season was because you started really well. I thought the season was over 46 games. Not just because you started really well.
It got stopped because of COVID, so they had to find a way. And the fact they'd started so well meant, yes, they fell off and a bad run of form and started dropping down the league. But because of what they'd done at the beginning, warranted them going up on the points per game system. Michael's trying to get in just to shut Dino up. Come on, Michael.
I didn't mind that. That was great. Can we just continue where we left off last time? I didn't mind. Well, okay. I wasn't as bothered by Wycombe going up last year as I know a lot of you. Well, I was along the lines of Phil. I think Mad Mistake said this as well. That ultimately the problem, I think we said this last time as well, the problem was where the system was implemented. The problem was how the system was executed. It's not that if every club voted for, I think even Phil said this, every club at the end of last season voted for their own self-interest. Is it a coincidence that a lot of people, and it wasn't just Wycombe, I bet you Coventry and Rotherham also voted not to play on as well. Yes, I know they were already in the top 2, and I know that's the difference there, but the point is they still voted not to play on. Look, I mean, again, if Sunderland were in that position, and I know Dino's going to say he would mind this, but I just don't get it. I think if we were in that position and we voted to finish and we voted to end it on points per game, and that got us in the playoffs, and we got promoted, hardly anyone would have complained about it. Well, okay, maybe there would have been some who wouldn't have been happy with it. Yeah, it's not that we would have expected to go up, but regardless, that's how Wycombe still had to play the playoff games. It wouldn't have been. I don't think people would have been as bothered about it if Wycombe hadn't got promoted. But this season, the only difference, I think I heard that Wycombe were the ones who were inquiring about it. I might be wrong on that. If Wycombe were the ones inquiring about it, then yeah, they're the ones that are trying to actively go against other clubs just to try and suit their own ends. But at the same time, if Wycombe had nothing to do with it, and it's the EFL financial regulations and all that for Derby County, then that's not Wycombe's fault.
Right, quickly. What I want to do then, just quickly before we finish, I want to pass this on to Jack because I want to see if when we mentioned this before we went on air, and he said what he thought about it. I'm going to see if he's going to say the same live on air. So, Jack, what do you think of the situation with Derby and the possibility that Wycombe Wanderers could stay up?
Say the exact same thing I said off air. I'm not really that bothered about it, to be honest. Like, it doesn't really concern us. I mean, I've got my opinions on what happened last season and the way that Wycombe went up and things like, I've got my opinions on that, but it's an isolated incident.
What are they?
To be honest, to be honest with you, I'm not really that bothered about what happens in the Championship. I want Sunderland to get promoted to the Championship. I'm not really bothered about which teams are coming down and what have you. As for that, Michael, I know you wanted to ask us there. Well, obviously, it was very unfair. And my thinking was, if you can afford to have a playoff between the teams in there, then surely you can afford to play the rest of the games of the season. Additionally, I felt that it's more important to finish last season before even starting this one. My thoughts were, as soon as it's deemed safe and responsible enough to begin this season, that's when we should have finished last season off properly and just start this one later, if need be. I mean, look, this was a year ago or what have you, and it doesn't really matter anymore. But I think that was my thinking on it, was that Wycombe shouldn't have. It was unfair the way that it was decided. It was done on points per game, and we actually had quite a decent running. I think looking back, we had quite a few winnable games in there, and things could have changed. But as for what's happening this season, I'm not really bothered.
The most undeserved playoff finalist wins ever seen in history.
Is it bad that I kind of want Wycombe to stay up just to annoy Dino?
Right, okay.
The last thing I'm not that bothered on Wycombe, but Darius Charles, you can sort off and do one. There you go.
Yeah, we don't like him.
Right, okay. Well, just very quickly before we go then, I want to give a shout out to Tom Wallace on the chat, who's replying to Lewis, who we believe's the Blackpool fan, saying, it's great because you think it's in the bag, but we are Sunderland. And we will have the last laugh. And then he says, just like tonight, it's been a great show, full of laughs and great talk.
I hope we do.
So thanks, Tom Wallace, friend of the show. Thank you very much. Very kind words. I would like to ask you all a question as well. If you just look at my eyes, because I'm really old, right? The last 2 nights I've been nicking Karen's facial things you stick on your eye. And do I look younger? Do I look any younger?
I've not noticed anything, Phil.
No comment.
I tell you what, though, on the topic of Ollie Young, I would love to see him come to the squad. That was
hey, boom.
Like that.
Right then, just I quickly want to remind you that we will be doing. What day are we on? Thursday. Are we back on Sunday, lads? I think we are, because we got the build up to the playoffs. And
is it not next week?
Yeah, it's next week. We'll probably do Sunday. We'll probably see you then. Wednesday is the live stream where we're on the table and we're all together. So we will be doing that. So make sure you tune in for that. Once again, before we do go, I want to give another shout out to One Football, the only football app you'll ever need, and the sponsors of our channel. Check it out. It's got all the live scores as games happen on all your teams. Through the summer, when there's not much football going on, you can stay in touch with that. It'll give you all the England information you need, transfer news, transfer rumours, who's going to be coming, who's going to be going, and all the detailed information for your club. Don't forget, if you want to download that, it's free to do so. The link is in the description down below. So thanks again to One Football for sponsoring SAFC Fan TV. Well, that's about it, lads. Apologies for the mess up. I'll hold my hands up. Well, no, it was my computer crashed, and then it was my fault. Second time.
So are we actually finishing this time, or are we coming back again in 5 minutes to do another stream?
I haven't got a clue, Michael. I don't know what might happen. We're going to finish, but we could come back on. I don't know. So from myself, wee Philly, from the ladies' man the ladies just love, super sexy guy. Did you see the
Oh, God.
Did you see
Yeah,
that?
there you go. I promise to not get Jack too excited. I promise.
No, give us a yeah, baby. Go on.
No chance, baby.
Oh,
See, that would be too much
Okay, I'll tell you
excitement
what then,
for me.
Phil. I'll
I'd
do
go
that.
Red.
I will. If Sunderland win the playoffs, I will do that. There you
all
go.
right,
You can
fair
hold me to
enough.
that.
Fantastic.
What's he
Oh,
going to do?
Crossed.
Take his shirt off?
no, he's going to
Oh,
go.
even
Oh,
better.
yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
not. Definitely not.
Yeah. It's a favourite of ours. After we come off air, what tends to happen? We come off air and we all get our shirts off and wave them above our head. And Michael's yet to join us in that celebration. But when we go off air, we'll see if we can get Michael to join us doing that.
Only if Terry and Jacob join in as well then.
Oh, man, behave yourself away, Michael.
Only if Karen joins in as well.
Yeah.
No, I'm good for that.
Right, we'll get Karen in. Right. So that's it
Look
from
at Michael.
myself, Billy. From Michael
I'm
Bowers,
Chris, man.
from Jack Dodd. Say bye, Jack.
Bye,
She's
Jack.
laughing. She's laughing there. She'll be in as soon as we come off air. And from Dino, say bye, Dino. Karen's on her way in. We'll see you all. I think we'll see you all on Sunday. Thanks for tuning in. See you. Bye bye.